For a while, I thought I could disappear, just live like everyone else. No mask, no fights, no scars.
Peter Parker. Gwen, is that you? Not yours. In my world, you couldn't save my Peter either. But I didn't come just to find you. I came because bigger threats are coming. Missing people, bodies vanishing into thin air.
The Amazing Spider-Man 3, 2025, is one of the most highly anticipated superhero films in recent memory, not only because it brings Andrew Garfield back into the red and blue suit, but also because it continues a story that felt incomplete for years. After the events of the previous two films, audiences were left wondering about Peter Parker's fate, his grief over Gwen Stacy, and whether his world would ever see resolution. Now, in 2025, the film arrives with a renewed sense of energy, a mature tone, and a promise to deliver an emotional, action-packed continuation. The trailer immediately throws fans into a darker, more reflective world where Peter Parker confronts the consequences of his choices while also being pulled into new conflicts that test his identity as both a man and a hero. The film brings back Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, the tortured yet resilient hero who has carried the weight of his losses for years. Emma Stone makes her highly discussed return as Gwen Stacy, but her role takes an unexpected turn. Rumors of her reappearance had fueled speculation for years, and the trailer confirms her presence in a way that both surprises and emotionally devastates fans. Dane DeHaan is back as Harry Osborn, his character having been reshaped after the Green Goblin events, and his new arc hints at redemption, corruption, and the possibility of betrayal. Alongside them, the cast expands with new faces. A mysterious scientist played by Adam Driver, who becomes integral to the story of multiversal collisions, and Florence Pugh as Felicia Hardy, whose Black Cat persona is finally introduced into the cinematic universe. With a cast that blends returning favorites and new talent, the story promises both nostalgia and innovation. The story centers on Peter Parker trying to find meaning after years of isolation. He's older, more world-weary, and living with the lingering pain of Gwen's death. The trailer opens with him walking through a rainy New York, narrating his guilt and questioning whether Spider-Man is a curse rather than a gift. Just as the sense of despair builds, the camera cuts to flashes of Gwen Stacy, alive, but it is not the Gwen he once knew. This Gwen comes from another reality, drawn into Peter's world through a rift in the multiverse. Their reunion is bittersweet, filled with longing, but shadowed by the knowledge that they belong to different universes. This emotional core drives the narrative, forcing Peter to wrestle with whether he can accept her presence or if it will ultimately destroy them both. The villain of the film emerges gradually. Oscorp, once thought broken, is revealed to be thriving in secret. Adam Driver's character, Dr. Mendel Strom, manipulates interdimensional energy with dangerous experiments. His tampering causes rifts that allow variants and new threats to bleed into Peter's world. One of these dangers is a new version of Harry Osborn, not quite the friend Peter once loved, nor the foe he once fought. This duality places Peter in an impossible position. Can he trust this Harry, or will history repeat itself? The trailer shows intense confrontations between the two, set against crumbling skyscrapers and storm-filled skis, echoing the chaos of Peter's past battles. Amidst this turmoil, Felicia Hardy enters the frame. Unlike other characters who directly pull Peter into conflict, Felicia complicates his personal life. Their chemistry is undeniable, her presence witty, daring, and morally ambiguous. She is both ally and rival, offering Peter a chance to move forward while also tempting him into questionable choices. The trailer teases rooftop chases, flirtatious banter, and the possibility of betrayal. Her character symbolizes the idea of a future Peter could have, if only he lets go of his past. Between Gwen's sudden reappearance and Felicia's seductive pull, Peter is torn more than ever between the man he was and the man he could become. The action sequences showcased in the trailer elevate the scale beyond what came before. A standout scene involves Spider-Man swinging through a collapsing Manhattan bridge as energy pulses tear apart the structure, forcing him to save dozens of civilians in seconds. Another scene shows him battling drones unleashed by Oscorp, each programmed to adapt to his fighting style, creating a ballet of webs, acrobatics, and explosions. The final moments of the trailer feature Peter and Gwen standing on a rooftop as the city trembles beneath them, Gwen whispering, "This isn't my world, Peter," before the screen cuts to black. The emotional weight and adrenaline-fueled visuals merge to promise a story that is as heartbreaking as it is thrilling. Thematically, the film is about grief, closure, and the possibility of second chances. Peter's pain over Gwen has defined his arc since her death, and now the universe offers him a cruel, beautiful opportunity to see her again. But with that chance comes risk. Can he accept that she is not his Gwen, or will he spiral further into guilt and obsession? At the same time, his responsibilities as Spider-Man grow heavier. With Oscorp threatening the stability of all realities, and with Harry's unpredictable return, Peter must learn to balance personal longing with the duty he has always carried. The trailer makes it clear that this is not just another superhero story, but a deeply human one, pushing Peter Parker into the most difficult emotional decisions of his life. The film's visual design embraces both the familiar and the new. The New York skyline glistens with modern detail, rain-slick streets glowing beneath neon lights, while Oscorp's laboratories shimmer with eerie green light. The costume design reveals subtle changes in Spider-Man's suit, sleeker and slightly darker, reflecting Peter's matured state. Gwen's design, hinting at her Spider-Woman identity from her universe, shows a white-and-pink suit that contrasts against Peter's own. Black Cat's design is elegant and stealthy, her white hair flowing as she leaps across the rooftops of Manhattan. These details create a striking visual contrast that reflects the conflict of different worlds colliding. The release date has been set for December 19, 2025, positioning the film as a holiday blockbuster event. The studio's choice of timing ensures it will be one of the year's most talked-about releases, capitalizing on both nostalgia and modern cinematic spectacle. For fans who have long campaigned for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man to receive closure, this release date feels like the fulfillment of a promise that was delayed but never forgotten. The trailer itself captures this sense of closure while opening new doors. The first half builds on emotion, showing Peter's loneliness, his grief, and the shocking return of Gwen. The second half explodes into action, teasing citywide destruction, battles with multiversal foes, and the looming shadow of Oscorp. The music swells with a mixture of somber piano and epic orchestral crescendos, mirroring Peter's inner turmoil. The final shot, Gwen's haunting words and Peter's tear-filled eyes, promises audiences a film that will not shy away from heartbreak while delivering spectacle worthy of Spider-Man's legacy. The Amazing Spider-Man 3, 2025, is more than just a sequel. It is a continuation of a story that was left suspended in time. It bridges nostalgia and reinvention, grief and hope, action and intimacy. With Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone at its emotional core, joined by new characters that expand the mythos, the film sets itself up as one of the defining Spider-Man stories ever told on screen. The trailer leaves fans with questions that cut to the heart of the hero's journey. Can Peter Parker truly heal? Can love survive across worlds? And what price must Spider-Man pay for his choices? These questions hang in the air as the screen fades to black, promising an unforgettable cinematic experience when the film finally arrives.